You're standing in the shower, water pouring down, and that thought hits you again. I'm not good enough. Maybe it's about your career, watching someone younger lap you on the corporate track. Maybe it's your body, staring at a reflection that feels like a stranger's. Or maybe it's simpler, darker. I always mess things up. And here's the brutal truth. You've thought this exact thought 1,000 times before. It's become the background music of your existence, so familiar you don't even hear it anymore. But here's what you don't realize. That single thought, repeated daily, hourly, minute by minute, is the architect of your entire reality. It's not your circumstances destroying your potential. It's not your past. It's not even your lack of resources. It's one toxic thought pattern, looping endlessly, building the prison you wake up in every single day. And the most terrifying part? You're the one who keeps handing it the bricks. We talk about change like it requires some massive external shift. New job, new city, new relationship. We're conditioned to believe that fixing our lives means rearranging the furniture, switching the scenery, hoping a different backdrop will somehow make us different people. So we try. God, do we try? We buy the course. We join the gym. We make the promise on New Year's Eve with champagne-fueled conviction. And for a week, maybe two, we feel different. But then, like clockwork, we plateau. We slide back. Not because we lack discipline, not because we're fundamentally broken, but because we never addressed the source code. That automatic thought, I'm not the kind of person who, or things never work out for me, or I don't deserve, is still running silently in the background, sabotaging every new beginning. You can change your entire environment, but if you bring the same mental software to the new location, you'll just recreate the same results with different wallpaper. This is the frustration nobody talks about. We're exhausted from trying to change our lives while refusing to change our minds. Here's the counterintuitive truth that will rewire everything. Your life doesn't change when your circumstances change. Your life changes when your default narrative changes. The default narrative is that automatic story your brain tells about who you are and what's possible for you. It's the lens through which you interpret everything. Same event, two different default narratives, two completely different lives. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Narrative 1. People are always disrespecting me. The world is against me. Narrative 2. They must be having a rough day. I've been there. Same event. Completely different emotional destination. Completely different version of yourself you become by day's end. Change your default narrative, and you don't just change your thoughts. You change your emotions, your decisions, your relationships, your income, your health. Everything cascades from that one shift. This isn't positive thinking. This is surgical reprogramming of the operating system that runs your entire existence. Let me show you this principle in action through people who lived it when the stakes were everything. Michael Jordan, everyone knows the championships, the clutch shots, the legacy. But rewind to 1978, sophomore year. Michael Jordan gets cut from his varsity basketball team, not benched, cut. The coach looked at him and said, "You're not good enough." For most people, that becomes the default narrative. I'm not good enough. Jordan could have internalized that. He could have let that thought loop endlessly, proving itself true in every subsequent attempt. Instead, he made a different choice. He changed the narrative from "I'm not good enough" to "I'm not good enough yet, and that gap is my fuel." That shift, that single reframe, turned rejection into a laboratory. The circumstances didn't change immediately. He still wasn't on varsity, but his default narrative changed, and that change rewired his identity. Oprah Winfrey. Before the empire, before the influence, there was a girl told she was unfit for television. Early in her career, she was demoted from her co-anchor position because a producer said she was too emotionally invested in her stories. For someone else, that becomes, I'm too emotional, I'm too much, I need to shrink. But Oprah changed her default narrative. She reframed too emotional into deeply empathetic. The trait that got her demoted became the signature that built a billion-dollar brand. Same trait, different narrative. And that narrative shift didn't just change her career, it changed how millions of people process their own stories. J.K. Rowling, divorced, bankrupt, clinically depressed, raising a child alone on welfare. 12 publishers rejected Harry Potter. 12. At any point, the default narrative could have become, I'm a failure, maybe I should just give up on this fantasy. But she chose a different story. These rejections are just part of the path. The right door hasn't opened yet. That single narrative shift, inserting the word yet, choosing to see rejection as redirection rather than verdict, kept her writing when logic said quit. The circumstances were still brutal. She was still broke, still rejected. But the person living those circumstances was different, because the story she told herself was different. So how do you actually change your default narrative? It starts with catching it. For the next 48 hours, become a witness to your own thoughts. When something goes wrong, pause. What story did you just tell yourself? Write it down. Of course this happened to me. I always screw this up. I'm just not lucky. These are your default narratives. They're automatic, invisible, but now you're making them visible. Challenge the narrative. Ask yourself, is this the only possible interpretation? Someone doesn't text back. Narrative 1. They hate me. I'm annoying. Alternative narrative. They're busy. This isn't about me. The facts are the same. Your story about the facts is what creates your emotional reality. Consciously choose a new narrative and repeat it deliberately. This isn't about lying to yourself. It's about choosing the interpretation that empowers rather than imprisons you. When you fail, the old narrative says, I'm a failure. The new narrative says, I'm gathering data. Same event, completely different identity. Do this daily. Before bed, ask, what story did I tell myself today, and did it serve me? Your brain will resist because the old narrative is comfortable, familiar, but comfortable narratives rarely create extraordinary lives. Imagine waking up 6 months from now. Same apartment, maybe. Same job, possibly. But when you look in the mirror, the person staring back is different. Not because your circumstances radically shifted, but because your default narrative did. Someone criticizes you, and instead of spiraling into, I'm not good enough, you hear it as information. It doesn't stick to you anymore. You fail at something, and instead of it confirming your unworthiness, it becomes fascinating data. Interesting. That approach didn't work. What's the next experiment? The voice in your head isn't a bully anymore. It's a coach. Your inner dialogue becomes the source of your strength rather than the source of your suffering. People start noticing you're different, more grounded, less reactive. They don't know what changed, but they feel it. And here's the beautiful truth. You didn't get a new life. You got a new lens. And that new lens revealed that the life you wanted was available all along. You just couldn't see it through the fog of your old narrative. Your life will not change when everything around you changes. Your life will change the moment you change the story you tell yourself about everything around you. That default narrative running in your head right now, the one telling you you're behind, you're broken, you're not enough. It's just a story, and stories can be rewritten. Not someday, not when circumstances improve. Right now, today, this moment. Identify one default narrative that's been running your life. Just one. Write it down. Then, right beneath it, write an alternative narrative. One that empowers instead of imprisons. Read that new narrative aloud every morning for the next 7 days. Don't wait to believe it, just practice it. Let your brain hear a different story. Watch what happens when you stop being a prisoner of your thoughts and become the author of your narrative. your move. Change the thought pattern. Change your life.